Joe Coffey here for PremierGuitar.com. We are on location in Tennessee. Technically, we're walking in Memphis with my feet about 500 yards from Beale Street. We're going to check out the Gibson factory here in Memphis. Technically, it's Gibson Custom Memphis. This is where they make the ES series. So let's go check it out. All right, so here we are inside Gibson Memphis. This is David Winters. David, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. David is the operations manager here at Gibson Memphis, and he's going to show us around. First of all, David, what do you want people to know about Gibson Memphis? I mean, everybody knows there's a big facility in Nashville. What happens here?
We actually specialize on the ES 335s, Lucille's, 175s, semi-hollow body guitars. Each factory specializes in its own specific line of guitars, so it allows us to focus on each niche of the business with a great deal of focus. So our main focus here is the ES line of guitars, the semi-hollow body guitars.
All right, let's go in and take a look.
All right, let's go.
I mean, these are all guitars built here?
Yeah, this is just kind of a representative sample of what we make here in the building. It definitely, by any stretch of the imagination, doesn't encompass everything that we do here. But we have a lot of tours here on a daily basis that our retail store handles. So this is just kind of a representative sample when the people are coming in for a tour of what we do here and what our focus is.
I saw the Sheryl Crow banner back there. You were saying she was here just recently.
Yeah, she was here a month or so ago doing a concert just south of here and stopped in for a tour with her band and actually her parents, and it was a good time. She's a very nice lady.
Very cool. Okay, well, so this is it.
Yeah,
this is where everything happens.
Yeah, we're walking into kind of the buffing final assembly area of the plant. You know, where the finished product comes through, so you can really see what's being built here. But in the back of the plant, you'll just see a lot of wood pieces and pressings and things like that.
Now, one thing I noticed is that there are a few solid bodies that are built here. Walking down the hallway there, I saw a white Paul, and there are also double necks here.
Yeah, we make the white Les Paul Custom, and then we also make the what they call the EDS 1275 or the double neck in cherry and white. But everything else is the ES style body.
Well, give us an idea of what we're looking at here.
Okay, what you're seeing here is you're seeing buffing, where they actually buff the nitrocellulose lacquer on the guitars. Then it comes to a neck prep where they do a final cleanup, buff the frets, oil the fingerboard, clean up any excess, scrape the binding down to the final dimension, and just clean it up and get it ready for build out. And then, of course, final assembly, where all the final touches to the guitar are put on.
I've seen a lot of people using their hands to make this happen.
Yeah, over the years we've done some automation in several different areas of the plant, but there's still a tremendous amount of handwork that goes into our guitars.
Well, you know, it's kind of neat. When we were driving up to the factory, you know, we turned on Beale Street, and I just thought, well, how appropriate if there were to be a series to be assembled and made, everything here, you know, the ES. It makes perfect sense.
It's a perfect fit with the city of Memphis and the rich musical history that's here. And of course, Gibson has a rich musical history itself. So what better place to build blues and jazz guitars but in the home of the Delta Blues of Memphis, Tennessee.
How long does it take to build a 335 from start to finish, say?
Start to finish, including dry times, it usually takes us about 3.5 weeks. Some models take a little longer, some take a little less, but that's about an average.
Where are we going now?
We're going to go back to our mill operations, where all of our wood machining, top and back pressing, neck processes, all of our sanding, filling, staining, collar prep, our pleck machine, basically just all of our wood operations to keep our dust and debris confined. This is our wood storage area where we bring in all of our veneers. As you know, on the semi-hollow bodies, there are a three-piece laminate, currently maple, poplar, maple, which has been done over a number of years. We use predominantly curly maple and plain maple, but we leave the wood in here, we let it acclimate, because when you're laminating three pieces of wood together, if they're not the exact same moisture content, you'll get warping and twisting and pulling one direction or another. So we'll leave our wood sit in here for at least a full 7 days before we'll touch any of it for production. We can do 175, Lucille's, 335s, every top and back that we currently make here This old press originally came from Kalamazoo. It's from the 1940s. It takes quite a bit of upkeep to keep the old press going, but it still does a wonderful job, and once again, it's the original ES press. So if you notice, they're really wide sheets, and then we'll just cut them to the thickness that we need, the overall dimension, so that we'll get several rim pressings out of one sheet. So this is what comes out of the machine, and then basically we'll cut it to whatever body thickness that we're currently making. Plus, a rim set will come out of the same piece of wood, so that the wood color matches, and so there's consistency there. So you can see here, you take those rim sheets, and that'll actually make a set. Again, we make all of our own fixtures. Some of these have been around for a number of years, using various clamps and different things. But this is the beginnings of our bodybuilding stages. If you see, this particular model is a 137, has a mahogany center block, which is what we call a spider block, because it's got some of the weight hogged out of it here. Plus it has a cutaway, single cutaway, versus a double cutaway like on a 335 or what have you. This is a Howard Roberts Fusion guitar. We don't make a great number of them, but it's still a guitar that a lot of people are sought after. It actually has a chromite center block with mahogany head and tail block. Makes it a lighter weight instrument. Also has tonal properties to it that gives it a slightly different tone. This is our 175 bodybuilding fixtures. The 175 is different from the 335 in a number of areas. It's a lot thicker body, okay, and it doesn't have a center block that runs all the way through the body. It has a tail block and it's got a head block. Obviously, the head block supports the neck tenon where the neck is glued in, and the tail block serves as a purpose because you have a strap pin that goes in there, and it helps hold the body together where it's glued at the seam. So, 335 obviously has a maple center block that adds a lot of sustain and gives it tonal properties to the instrument as well. Maple, being a very dense, very hard wood, lends itself perfectly for this application. So you can see the rim assembly for a 175 or a 335. It's had the rim lining added. Gives it an additional gluing surface when you're gluing the tops and backs together, because you're going to route out part of this wood for a plastic binding that goes, ABS plastic binding that goes around the guitar body. So what he's doing here is he's gluing a top and back to the center block. So here you have a 335 top and back. It's got the braces glued in. They've been shaved down flush, and those will actually glue to the gluing surface on the body. Like so. They're actually aligned by a pin set that keeps the body's top and back aligned. It keeps it aligned with the rim as well, using an air bag to hold it tight for 4 hours while we're gluing it up. So, this is what we call rabbiting, and he's basically cutting the excess wood off. He's cutting a binding channel on there where the binding will actually fit in there flush with the body.
Now, I've seen this process done a number of ways, and this is the old school way, right?
Yeah, this is the old school way. We're constantly looking for new ways to improve it, but this has worked out best for us so far. Because we have sharp cutaways and things like that, it's difficult to tape bind or things like that. But we're always looking for new ways to do it and better ways to do it. But this particular job is still done the old way. And if you watch, there's actually a pattern that they go by. Everyone's wrapped the same way because you're pulling the binding around the guitar to get it tight, and so you don't have any gaps. Plus, on this particular model, the corners, it's got a cutaway that has to be done with a mitered corner that you'll see here.
Obviously, when he made that horizontal cut and separated the binding, it'll allow it to bend a little freer without any issues.
Well, that and each piece has to be cut individually. Because it's mitered and there's multiple colors, he has to do it in steps so that it steps its way out. So that's basically a bound, top and back bound 137.